There, I'm just wanting to do a little talk, and I think I want to talk about, I talk about this a lot actually. One of the things I talk about a lot is nothingness, and that's because when I had the awakening, I kept on thinking. When I had this big mind explosion, unexpected spiritual awakening, I was thinking and all of a sudden I had these thoughts, nothing, and that's how the nothingness meditation came about. I kept on thinking, nothing, this is nothing, and then I developed this meditation from that, you see. And then I do this meditation now, I've done ever since, think of nothing, what takes you to the infinity, your infinity. And I'm not saying it's the best meditation, but I'm saying I think it's the most important, because that takes you into your infinite self, you see. Infinite potential, infinite consciousness. But ask any scientist and they'll say to you that everything's nothingness. So it's ridiculous when you see people saying this way is the right way, or that means that, or they read a book, or they read a spiritual book, or someone that's more ascended, they think, and they said this, but that's my ideas is just my ideas, and I'll admit that. My ideas is just my perspective. If you're dealing with a nothingness originally, then that means you're dealing with an infinity of perspectives. Right? There can only be one infinity, but it's an infinity of perspective. That means there is no right or wrong. There's not a set way in anything. And if with science, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, so scientists can obviously tune frequencies to control people. This is what they've done with 5G, and to kill people, obviously. But scientists would understand technically more about frequencies than I do. I understand it from a spiritual awakening perspective. From someone that is going through this, and I'm going through the emotional side of it, and the feelings, and the healing side of it. And, and so I can help people with their ascension process and their healing. But, in science, they can tweak frequencies, and this is how they control the masses. This is how they engineer television and everything. They engineer it to be at a certain frequency so that you're programmed. It's not so everything that you see on television is on a certain frequency scientifically so that you're controlled by it. And this is why I say everything outward is to program you. And people don't realise how you control someone is it starts from birth. If you control a bunch of people now, they control everyone thereafter. If everyone's programmed now, then they will program their kids. This is how the controlling works, and how the mind control works to the masses. And back to nothingness, that's what we are. And so what I think means anything is ridiculous. It's just my perspective, but it's infinity of angles to look from. If you're dealing with an infinity, that means it's infinite ways to look at things. And like I was saying a minute ago, that if we're a way to go into space and meet different beings or whatever, you're going to deal with an infinity of angles that they might look from. And so we need to get more intelligent with how we're looking at things, and realise that it's just our version of right or wrong. The evil guys think that they're right. Our version of evil to them might be good. You see? And that's just the way it is. This reality bases everything on their perspective, but even mainstream science will tell you that we pick up, according to science, a tiny amount of frequency. But this all starts from infinite nothing. So you're dealing with an infinity of consciousness, infinity of energies. And they say that we decode this energy. And so what we're doing is we're basing our perspective based on a tiny amount of nothing. Within an infinity of nothing. Within an infinity of energies or whatever. And this is why dogs apparently don't see rainbows. Because they're in a different perspective of life. They're of a different perspective, different angle, different consciousness. And this is how we all know nothing. Because you can only ever know nothing when you're dealing with an infinity. People get too caught in these illusions, that even with this information I receive relentless information, but it's an infinity of knowledge. So I can only ever know nothing. You see? And, you know what I mean? If you're dealing with an infinity, you're dealing with vast infinite stuff. And here's the other thing, it's all you. Because if you are the one infinity, then that means if everything starts from infinite nothing, that means you're the infinite nothing. That means you're the one infinity. That means there is no other. That's why the dark is the light. That's why I say I say all the time that the dark accompanies the light. You don't even have lightning until it's thunder, dark thunder. And that's because the dual is one. If everything's one infinity and one infinite nothing, that means everything else is that thing. Right? And everything else, like the dark, is when you have dark moments, that's when you reach clarity and insight and, oh wow, I've got the answer now. But it's only through that dark moment. So there's a place for dark, and in that dark moment comes the light. It's like the spiritual awakening. It came because I was very, very low. First 24 years of my life, disaster. And that made me awaken. You know, and that's what it did. I always check over there to see how much time I've done. But that's what the dark moment's done, and then one day I just had enough. And the instinct divine part came through because I had enough. But if it wasn't for that dark moment, that whole 24 years, first 24 years, I wouldn't have had this journey. So that's why you need the dark to have light. You don't even see the stars at night until it's dark. Even the solitary moon comes out to shine when it's dark. Because these two elements are like a team, you see. They're just, that's what they're like a perfect relationship. Because they're actually one infinity, one infinite nothing. So that means, like I say, everything. You can't have separation if you've got one infinity. It means everything else is just a holographic reflection of self. You go a bit deeper and there's no self because you're nothing. But then what is the nothing? I think the nothingness is just some sort of dream manifestation thing, like an infinite awareness. And within this space, it's infinite parallel expressions going on, and it's being done infinitely. So your experience has been recorded and done an infinite number of times, and so that's why nowness is a perfect infinity. Right? There's no number to you how much times your experience has been done right now. That's why the nowness is perfect. Yeah. But I think I'll just leave it there, and there is no meanings to anything. It's infinity of perspective, so don't get too caught in these illusions. But I'm just going to leave it there. If you're watching, you meant to watch it, everything falls to divine order. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.